Hello, welcome to this section. In the question on the board, we are asked to solve for x in the expression ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. The first thing we need to do here, step 1, is to divide through with the coefficient of x squared, and the coefficient of x squared is a. Therefore, the expression becomes ax squared over a plus bx over a plus c over a equal to 0. A will cancel out a, the expression becomes x squared plus bx over a plus c over a equals 0. Step 2, we subtract c over a, the constant c over a, we subtract it from both sides of the equation to remove c over a from this side of the equation. Subtract c over a from both sides of the equation. So the expression becomes x squared plus bx over a plus c over a minus c over a equals minus 0 minus c over a. So this becomes x squared plus bx over a. C over a minus c over a is 0. 0 minus c over a is minus c over a. The next step is to make this expression here a perfect square. So we are going to complete the square. We'll add a value here that will make this a perfect square. So what is a perfect square? A perfect square is a value that is derived when another number multiplies itself. For example, 9 is a perfect square. When 3 multiplies itself, we get 9. 4 is a perfect square. When 2 multiplies itself, we get 4. 16 is a perfect square. When 4 multiplies itself, we get 4. So we are going to add a value on this expression, where we will add a value to this expression on the left side of the equality sign. We complete the square here. We'll add an expression here to make this expression a perfect square, so that when this expression is factorized, we will get a value that will multiply itself to get back this value. Okay, let me do what I'm explaining. So I'm going to add step 3. Add b over 2a squared to both sides. Of the equation. So this becomes x squared plus bx over a plus b over 2a squared is equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a squared. Now this value b over 2a squared makes this expression here a perfect square. Now I can now factorize this expression to get a value that can multiply itself to get back this expression. But without this value, I will not be able to factorize this expression to get the value of x. So that's why this value is added here to make it a complete square, a perfect square. So step 4, I will factorize the expression on the left side of the equality sign and then simplify the expression on the right side of the equality sign. So this expression becomes x squared plus bx over a plus b over 2a squared is equal to x plus b over 2a squared. Now you can see that we have a value that can multiply itself to get this value. The expression on the right side of the equation, I'm going to simplify it. So minus c over a plus b over 2a squared is the same thing as b over 2a squared minus c over a. And this is the same thing as b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. If the expression is simplified further, if we take 4a squared as a common value here, we look for the LCM of 4a squared and a. The LCM of 4a squared and a is 4a squared. So I'll take 4a squared. 4a squared into 4a squared is 1. 1 times b squared is b squared. A into 4a squared is 4a. 4 times minus c is minus 4ac. Therefore, if I join both expressions together, it becomes x plus b over 2a squared is equal to b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. Step 5, I'm going to square root both sides of the equation. The reason why I'm doing that is to eliminate this square from this expression here so that I can simplify this expression further. So square root both sides of the equation. So this becomes x plus b over 2a multiplied by 1 over 2 is equal to b squared over 4a squared minus 4ac 1 over 2. So I raise both expressions to the power of 1 over 2. In order to square root both expressions. Now 2 we cancel out 2. So this expression becomes x plus b over 2a. B squared minus 4ac over 4a squared raised to the power half is the same thing as the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. Step 6, I'm going to subtract b over 2a from both sides of the equation in order to remove b over 2a from here and to isolate x so that x becomes so that we get the value of x, or so that x becomes the subject of the formula. So if I do that, subtract b over 2a from both sides, from both sides, the expression becomes x plus b over 2a minus b over 2a equal to b over 2a plus or minus the square root x plus 1 over, x plus b over 2a minus b over 2a is equal to b minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. This expression is the same thing as a minus b over 2 is 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. This is the same as, if we simplify this, minus b over 2a, minus this value, the square of 4. The square of 4 here is 2. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of a squared is a. Therefore, the expression becomes b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So since we have a common base, 2a here, 2a here, the expression becomes minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac So this is the solution to the equation. This is the value of x. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. For more math tips and solution to difficult math problems like this, click on the link below and join our online tutorial class. Thank you.